saying that not only is Beyonce as bad as Jay-Z, but she's even worse, and he gave some shocking examples of her alleged activities. But he didn't stop there, because he also revealed how Beyonce is trying to make Jay-Z take the fall for their messy actions by divorcing him, setting him up for failure, and then throwing him under the bus.
Now, his alleged son, Ramir, he has been trying to get Jay to do a DNA test for years. This may help him. One of those lawyers, that Busby lawyer, he might pick up his case, right? And they say, oh, well, we got this case too. We want to do a DNA test, right? The reason Jay's ducking him is because his mother had him when she was 16, which means that Jay would have impregnated her at 15, and he was older. But so if he do a DNA test and it comes to find out that that is his son, then there's no denying that he slept with her mother when she was underage, and that's what the f he been ducking and dodging for all these years. Now what they going to do is, this is the pump fake. They pump faking Jay, and Jay jumped, and Jay grabbed the pawn real quick. They wanted you to react to the 13-year-old. Everything else is coming behind it.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Since Day One. Before we get into this video today about Jay-Z as well as his wife Beyonce, go ahead and like the video, comment down below, and if you are new, smash that subscribe button to take flight with us.
Fake love, I don't need it, you can keep it as a fact. I had to make up my mind. I took that weight on my shoulders. I done been down for some.
When it comes to the hip-hop industry, few names are as powerful and controversial as Shawn Jay-Z Carter. From his rise as a rapper to his success as a billionaire mogul, Jay-Z has dominated both the music and business world. However, behind his success lies a web of rumors, speculation, and legal battles that continue to follow him. Some critics believe that Jay-Z's rise to power, particularly his relationships with younger women, his ties to notorious figures like R. Kelly, and his involvement in the legal troubles surrounding his paternity case, may all point to a darker side of the hip-hop mogul. In this video, we will explore these controversial topics, diving into allegations surrounding Jay-Z's past relationship, business dealings, and the ongoing legal battle over his alleged son. Jay-Z's relationships with younger women have been a topic of ongoing discussion for years, from his early interactions with Foxy Brown to rumors about his involvement with Rihanna when she was underage. Questions have been raised about Jay-Z's patterns of behavior. While Foxy Brown was an underage artist when she started working with Jay-Z, there were rumors about a more personal connection between the two. Similarly, Rihanna's rise to fame at a time when she was underage has led to speculation about Jay-Z's involvement with her as well. Could Jay-Z have been romantically involved with these women when they were minors? These relationships, both professional and personal, have led some to wonder if Jay-Z was actively seeking out young women to form these close connections. If Jay-Z's relationships with these women were more than just business, what does that say about his character and his actions in the industry? Because 2025 is about the year of accepting accountability. As we look deeper into these rumors, it is important to remember that there is no concrete evidence linking Jay-Z to any illegal behavior. However, the timing and nature of these relationships raises eyebrows, especially considering the power dynamics at play. Many of these women were young and vulnerable, and the music industry at the time was infamous for its exploitation of young talent. This context only deepens the intrigue and leaves many wondering about the truth behind these relationships. The partnership between Jay-Z and R. Kelly during the early 2000s is another area that has sparked a lot of speculation. Despite R. Kelly's legal troubles, including the infamous 2002 trial involving a video with a young girl, Jay-Z continued to work with him professionally. Their collaboration on the album The Best of Both Worlds raised eyebrows, especially as R. Kelly was under intense scrutiny for his actions. Did Jay-Z turn a blind eye to R. Kelly's behavior, or was he knowingly complicit in the troubling actions of his collaborator? The fact that Jay-Z was willing to continue working with R. Kelly despite the growing accusations against him raises questions about his own moral compass and his desire for financial gain over personal integrity. Moreover, Jay-Z's close ties to Diddy, another influential figure in hip-hop, further complicate the narrative. Diddy has long been associated with the controversial side of the industry, and many have speculated that the two have been involved in more than just business partnerships. Were they aware of R. Kelly's behavior? Did they help shield him from the consequences of his actions? Because Nas sure thinks so, because he claims Jay-Z knew about R. Kelly's predatory behavior in a resurfaced interview that he had did with Wendy Williams. I swear it would be so epic if we still had Wendy Williams. Like, I'm so sad that she is incapacitated and she don't supposedly have no memory left. Because if you know, you know. And I heard, while we on the subject of Cat Williams, that he got another interview coming out on Club Shay Shay, y'all. Apparently, R. Kelly's predatory behavior was painfully public for decades, leading many to dig in the archives to see just how many of his former collaborators knew of the singer's ways. This week, a Nas interview with Wendy Williams resurfaced with the rapper angrily calling out Jay-Z for continuing to work with the singer after rumors continued to spread about R. Kelly's interest in teenage girls. The year was 2002, and for many hip-hop historians, the time of Nas and Jay's infamous feud.
I said, that's not my style. That's not what I'm going to do. Could have showed the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about, made fun of it, and said, yeah, Jay's hanging out. When Jay and I was in there doing basketball boys, you can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come in the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap. No. You can't tell me, you won't sit here and tell me that working on that album, that he ain't never seen no 14-year-old girl come in the vicinity?
My belief is that anybody who's worked with him and been in his cipher has seen it go down.
You've seen it go down.
Yeah.
I've been around R. Kelly, and I pray for that, brother. I've been on a tour with him. It didn't last too long, but I've been around him. But I talked to the man, and I've seen there's a little problem there. The brother needs help, and I pray for him. But if I sit there and did an album about women with him, I'm definitely maybe indulgent. He had to be indulgent for 14-year-olds, man. That's what I'm saying. What I'm here for the people, man. I'm here to talk the truth. And I'm gonna really...
But wait, y'all. While we're on the subject of Nas, they said that somehow Jay-Z got to Nas because all of a sudden he hanging out with him. They cool now. And this was a claim that launched before Surviving R. Kelly aired in January of 2019. The rapper professes that both him and Jay-Z knew that R. Kelly had taken a liking to young girls, though Nas asserts that he never saw any young girls while he was with R. Kelly. Look, y'all, now, ain't nobody finna pee in my face and tell me it's rain because I know R. Kelly was in jail telling on Jay-Z. Nobody is going to be able to convince me otherwise that they didn't know what was going on, that R. Kelly was not at these Diddy parties getting freaked down with young folk. And Jay-Z want to be throwing his $1 billion around trying to save face so we don't connect him to Diddy, and he's so worried about us connecting him to Diddy, he didn't forgot all about R. Kelly. But y'all, it all makes sense now what J. Cole was talking about.
Jay's getting ready to get hit with the RICO, bro. He's going to be Diddy's co-conspirator. If you look at all the news stories since the Jay-Z shit came out, every picture is Jay-Z and Diddy, right?
On Diddy's YouTube channel of him and Jay in the studio, like making music. And it was like, early 2000s. I didn't know they was cool like that.
See, you got the whole no Diddy thing going on. But these people don't think that Jay-Z could be gay.
Yeah, that surprised me when you hinted at that.
These people don't think that, and they're not, I'm not saying he is or he is. I'm saying these people out here think there's no possibility in the world that, it's people that don't believe the rumors that they hear about Will Smith, about Diddy. You know what I'm saying? So they damn sure ain't gonna want to believe it about Jay. But they about to get a rude awakening out here in a minute.
Because what else is it going to take to convince you guys? Jay-Z has 2 albums with R. Kelly and a whole tour with him and is close friends with him, Diddy, and Harvey Weinstein. But there's suddenly no way he could be a predator because he's married to Beyonce? Like, please, let's be so fucking for real.
They are very much, and here's what I'm getting. I am getting both Jay-Z and Beyonce because, see, he procures her out there. He is her handler, and he is the one that pushes her out there public, and then he profits off her. So we're looking at, and I don't care how much talent you think they have. I don't care how much talent you think they have. She was chosen for him. It is a karmic thing looking at their chart, but she was chosen for him in order to help him get where he needed to go. So she's the muse, but let's use this in a different way. Sometimes we use the word muse in the terms of profiteering off of it. He's very aware of entertainers, male and female, where he needs to go to keep his money coming in and what he's actually selling. Now this connects him to R. Kelly. High level pimping and pandering for the music industry through the trafficking, my camera cut off when I said trafficking, through the trafficking of human beings, okay? So I'm going to put that out there in that fashion. You, me, them, we're going to start seeing through the veil when it comes to Jay-Z, and within 3 years, public favor is Jay-Z's life. He's agreed to do this. So he's kind of a captive, but in a public form, and has no cognitive or conscious awareness of this. That's a weird thing to say, but that's just that's the energy I'm picking up on. No conscious awareness of what's going on around him.
2020, y'all. Yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaire's lunch.
The relationship between Jay-Z and Diddy has been one of both collaboration and competition. While their rivalry is well documented, some insiders suggest that there may be more to their connection than meets the eye. Both men have built successful empires in the hip-hop world, but their rise to fame came at a time when the industry was full of scandals, including those involving R. Kelly. Could Jay-Z and Diddy be a part of a larger network of powerful individuals who have managed to escape the scrutiny that others have faced? Some theorize that their success and influence have protected them from the fallout of the industry's darker side. With both men's ties to the controversial figures like R. Kelly and others, it's easy to wonder if they used their power to cover up secrets and protect their business interests. Moreover, the fact that Diddy and Jay-Z were once friends and have been friends for maybe the last 20 years before becoming rivals makes it hard to ignore the possibility that they may have been involved in some of the same questionable business dealings. Could their split have something to do with the falling out over moral differences or business secrets? And the late Aaliyah's death in 2001 remains one of the most tragic moments in music history. However, the rumors surrounding her life and her relationships with men in the industry have continued to spark speculation, particularly her rumored romance with Jay-Z. Some claim that Aaliyah and Jay-Z were romantically involved before her untimely death, despite the fact that she was still very young at the time. Could Jay-Z have had a deeper connection with Aaliyah than anyone realized? If the rumors are true, what would that say about Jay-Z's past relationships and how they were handled behind the scenes? Given Aaliyah's tragic passing, could there have been something more to her death that connects her to Jay-Z and the industry as a whole? This angle raises questions not only about Jay-Z's past actions, but about the mysterious circumstances surrounding Aaliyah's death. Was her passing just a tragic accident, or was there something more sinister at play? Jay-Z's rise to billionaire status is often cited as a success story in the business world. However, the question remains, how did he get there? As one of the wealthiest men in the world, Jay-Z has access to a network of powerful individuals, many of whom have questionable histories themselves. His involvement in high-profile business dealings, including those in the fashion and tech industries, has led some to believe that he is part of a larger billionaires club of individuals who control the global economy. Could Jay-Z be involved in darker dealings behind the scenes to maintain his wealth and power? Some theorize that Jay-Z's success might not be entirely clean and that he could be leveraging his influence to avoid the consequences of his past actions. With his influence in the hip-hop world, the fashion industry, and beyond, it's possible that Jay-Z has secrets he's been keeping hidden from the public eye. Finally, there is the ongoing legal battle surrounding Jay-Z's alleged son, Ramir Satterwhite. Ramir, who claims that Jay-Z is his father, has been fighting for a paternity test for years. Jay-Z has refused to take the test, which has only fueled speculation about why he's so adamant about avoiding it. Could Jay-Z's refusal to take the test be a result of his fear that it will reveal his past relationships with younger women? If Ramir is indeed Jay-Z's son, it could open up a can of worms regarding his actions with the mother, who allegedly was underage at the time of their relationship. If this paternity case were to go public, it could reveal a pattern of Jay-Z's behavior that he's been trying to keep hidden.
I just want everybody in the world just to keep their eyes open and just watch things that happen, that this how things unfold, because it's crazy. It really is crazy. These judges, these lawyers, this fraud and collusion, and just pass and not say anything about it. They will continue to do anything they want. It's not just with us, it's with people in the world. Like, a lot of fraud and a lot of collusion that's just been going on and just been looked over was never supposed to happen. Like, and I would not let that pass. I'm not letting a lot of things that's going on still in our court system. I'm just trying to keep the world really aware, because this is something that's going on continuously on a daily basis with maybe many different people. So, as I said, I was in a major court. Me, my mom, my godmom, we've been in court for many years, and it's just been crazy. Like, we've been going in there. I don't feel like we've been getting our rights, because all the fraud on the court, if we just let that, the lawyers get away with that. They will not go in the courtroom of justice and just lie like that and continue to get praised off it, or use this lie to benefit off all these years. Like, we've been going to court, putting our hard-earned money out there, and that's going in there to fight fraud. That's just that's craziness. That's doing anything they want basically in the courtroom, and the judges is just allowing this to go on. I honestly believe that someone both of them should be hold it responsible for this, because you guys, this is you guys' job. And if the judge can't see this or overlook it, I can understand a mistake, but it's just throughout the years, this continue to overlook fraud. It's just craziness. We did nothing wrong but come in here and tell you guys the truth, put our life on the line, come to every court case and give you 100% plus of us. And basically we just got stepped on, and basically, just try to get dragged through the system. But no, we won't let that go. That's not us. We're not letting this go, and we will continue to fight, like especially for fraud and collusion that's been going on. No, I will not let nobody just put that on my name, my mother's name, my godmother's name. We will fight for what is right, like we've been doing all these years.
As we dive into the speculation surrounding Jay-Z's past, his business dealings, and his legal battles, one thing is clear. There's a lot more to the hip-hop mogul than meets the eye, and while many of these allegations remain unverified, the connections between Jay-Z, R. Kelly, and Diddy and other figures in the music industry raise important questions about the darker side of fame and fortune. As we continue to speculate on the truth behind these rumors, one thing is certain: Jay-Z's legacy may not be as untouchable as it seems. In addition to the ongoing speculation about Jay-Z's past relationships with younger women, and there's no way if he worked with R. Kelly that he didn't know what R. Kelly did to Aaliyah. And so when Aaliyah came around Jay-Z, he also plotted on her. I mean, look at the pictures. I'm really so sorry to say, and rest in peace to Aaliyah, but I really feel like her mom really knew what was going on, and that Aaliyah might have been an industry pass around, and she might have known too much, and so they had to fix the problem. And I'm sorry, you guys, I don't make the news, I just report it. And from everything that I've seen, Aaliyah had pictures with Damon Dash, R. Kelly, Jay-Z, and Diddy. And you don't think that R. Kelly popped the cherry in order for everybody else to get a turn as well? I wanted to add in this small little disclaimer about Maurice Malone. He is a pioneering American fashion designer credited with shaping the early streetwear movement. He founded his design company, Maurice Malone Designs, in 1984 in Detroit, Michigan. Initially focused on creating denim and hip-hop inspired apparel, Malone gained recognition for blending urban culture with high-quality craftsmanship, and his brand became a staple in the 1990s streetwear scene, influencing both fashion and hip-hop communities. So the reason I said all of that, you guys, was because I wanted to point to the fact of this photo with Aaliyah with Maurice Malone Designs on it, you guys. And Aaliyah took this photo in 1994 alongside P. Diddy and the Notorious B.I.G. And y'all gotta keep up with me and stay tuned to this video, y'all, because I'm telling y'all everything. So y'all remember in 1994, that's when R. Kelly had married Aaliyah, right? In fact, this was the same year, you guys, that Aaliyah and R. Kelly were reportedly married in a secret ceremony on August 31st of 1994 when Aaliyah was 15 years old and R. Kelly was 27 years old. The marriage certificate falsely listed her as age 18. And don't forget, Aaliyah's debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, also released in 1994 and was produced entirely by R. Kelly, which further fueled speculation about their personal relationship. There's also evidence that Diddy, who was then known as Puff Daddy, and R. Kelly were in the same circles as well in 1994, as they were both prominent figures in the music industry at the time. And while there was no widely documented instance of a significant collaboration or a close partnership between R. Kelly and Diddy that year in 1994, they likely crossed paths due to their work with mutual artists and attendance at major industry events. But the key connections in 1994 between Diddy and R. Kelly would have been, at the time, Diddy was heavily involved in developing Bad Boy Records and managing artists like the Notorious B.I.G. and Craig Mack. Bad Boy was rapidly becoming a powerhouse in the hip-hop scene. R. Kelly's role was establishing himself as an R&B superstar with his hits like Bump and Grind from his 12 Play album released in late 1993, which dominated the charts in 1994. In 1994, Jay-Z was not yet the global superstar he would later become, but he was active in the underground hip-hop scene and working to establish himself as a prominent rapper and entrepreneur. Here's where Jay-Z was in 1994. Jay-Z was still a relatively unknown artist in 1994, building his reputation through collaborations and freestyles. He had not yet released his debut album, Reasonable Doubt, which would drop in 1996. He was closely associated with his mentor, Jaz-O, with whom he collaborated on tracks like The Originators in 1989. And by 1994, he was stepping out from Jaz-O's shadow and making his name in New York's hip-hop circles. Jay-Z was also connected with artists like Big Daddy Kane, often appearing as a guest in Kane's live performances. Jay-Z and Diddy, who was then man called Puff Daddy eventually connected and formed a friendship in the late 1990s as Jay-Z rose to prominence in the music industry. While there isn't a single documented moment marking the beginning of their friendship, their paths naturally crossed as they became two of the most influential figures in hip-hop, especially in the New York music scene. And one of the earliest known first public collaborations between Diddy and Jay-Z was the song called I Love You Baby, which was released in 1997. Jay-Z also appeared on the remix of Diddy's song Do My that came out in 1998, further solidifying their growing connection. So in 1998, Jay-Z released his Volume 2 Hard Knock Life, you guys, which made him a mainstream star, placing him in the same elite circles as Diddy, who was already running Bad Boy Records and producing major hits. They shared success in hip-hop, especially in New York, naturally brought them closer. In the 2000s, their friendship and collaborations became more visible. They were often seen supporting each other at events, and Diddy appeared on Jay-Z's 2001 album, The Blueprint, in the outro for All I Need. Around that same time, Aaliyah was already an established R&B star, having distanced herself from R. Kelly after their controversial relationship in the early 1990s. She released her second album, One in a Million, in 1996, produced by Timbaland and Missy Elliott, solidifying her status in the industry. In 1997 to 1998, Aaliyah was in the same circles as Diddy and Jay-Z and other industry elites. Given Diddy's reputation for hosting high-profile events like his famous all-white parties, it's likely Aaliyah attended many of these gatherings. Also around this time, rumors were circulating that Jay-Z had taken an interest in Aaliyah. However, Dame Dash, Jay-Z's business partner at Rocawear Records, eventually began dating her. Aaliyah and Dame Dash were reportedly in a serious relationship before her passing. Aaliyah tragically passed away on August 25th, 2001 in a plane crash while leaving the Bahamas after filming the music video for Rock the Boat. The small plane was overloaded and an investigation revealed it exceeded weight limits, contributing to the crash. Her death shocked the industry and many questions arose around who was responsible for her being on that ill-fated flight. At this time, Diddy and Jay-Z were still collaborating. Jay-Z was at a pivotal point in his career, having just released The Blueprint in September 2001, mere weeks after Aaliyah's death, 17 days to be exact. In 2002, less than a year after Aaliyah's passing, Jay-Z and R. Kelly released their joint album, The Best of Both Worlds. This was so controversial because R. Kelly's alleged inappropriate relationships with underage girls were well known by this time, and Aaliyah, someone close to Jay-Z's circle and Dame Dash's partner, had been directly affected by R. Kelly's predatory behavior. Dame Dash later expressed disapproval of Jay-Z collaborating with R. Kelly, calling it disrespectful to Aaliyah's memory.
I wasn't there. I ain't have nothing to do with that. They made a song together called Not Guilty. Anybody that knows what happened to my girl that me should not be home. I wasn't there. I ain't have nothing to do with that. I wasn't there. I ain't have nothing to do with that.
I wasn't there. I ain't have nothing to do with that.
And while there is no concrete evidence of foul play regarding Aaliyah's death, the overlapping timelines of these influential figures in her life, Diddy, Jay-Z, and their connection to R. Kelly, have fueled years of speculation. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below, you guys, and let me know what y'all think about this stuff so far, because we ain't even got into the nitty-gritty yet. However, if we're painting the bigger picture, it's plausible that Diddy, with his influence, could have introduced Aaliyah to Jay-Z in the late 1990s as Jay-Z was rising in the industry. However, their dynamic shifted when Dame Dash began dating her. The release of The Best of Both Worlds just months after her death adds another layer of complexity, considering Jay-Z's knowledge of Aaliyah's past with R. Kelly. I also don't want to forget to mention that Sean Diddy Combs had purchased a property at 40 Hedges Banks Drive in East Hampton, New York in March of 1998 for approximately $2.5 million. And we're gonna circle back to this.
This is not me, y'all. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career. Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You're killing me, man.
Now, what we might have not realized in 2019 when we were covering Surviving R. Kelly, you guys, was when R. Kelly did that interview with Gail and he said that you're killing me, man.
You're killing me, man.
Word in these social media streets is that he was talking to Jay-Z.
Why do you think that in all of the whole Surviving R. Kelly series, Jay-Z was not mentioned once, or not even a flash of a picture with him, and he's the only artist in the world that has done 2 studio albums and a tour with R. Kelly?
I'm sure he don't want that light on him. does Jay-Z's friendship with R. Kelly and Diddy make him look guilty?
Listen, Jay-Z has a history of messing with women that are predominantly a lot younger than him.
Yeah.
You got Aaliyah.
I think she was grown.
Aaliyah, she was 20 at the time, but he probably was in his fucking 30s then. It's rumored that he messed with Beyonce way before they announced it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's the rumors of Tierra Marie, right? So, Rihanna, you know. So for me, I believe what they doing is they playing a serious chess game with him, right? But they took their king and they threw the king, the first move, they threw their king in the middle of the board. And he like, what the fuck? He jumped right out there real fast.
Because word in these social media streets is that Jay-Z used to talk to, allegedly, Dream Hampton, who was in charge of the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries. And allegedly, R. Kelly was correct that it was not about music, but instead about what R. Kelly knew about Jay-Z and Diddy and how they felt like they needed to get R. Kelly knocked off.
This is not me, y'all. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this 30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man.
And what's so crazy to me, y'all, is that we never saw it coming. We didn't even know that Jay-Z and Diddy was on the back end allegedly plotting on R. Kelly until it all blew up. But my honest opinion, y'all, and I'm really intuitive, but I think that R. Kelly and Jay-Z have a tape with Aaliyah, and Jay-Z wanted the tape, and R. Kelly didn't give it to him, so they got him in trouble. Because when you think about it, after we followed the Surviving R. Kelly series, we could never figure out why it just all popped up like that. But I really think that R. Kelly hid some tape with him, Diddy, Jay-Z, maybe some other people on the tape with someone of importance. Because it's just crazy to me how Jay-Z was 10 steps ahead and he was working on his social justice campaign. And on the same day that Lifetime aired the Surviving R. Kelly series, Jay-Z made sure that him and Beyonce were in Paris breaking a world record for how many visitors visited a museum when they shot their ape shit video. And just 2 short days later, while Surviving R. Kelly was still airing, they made sure that they were at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures in Los Angeles for premiere of the movie The Book of Clarence. Surviving R. Kelly is a documentary series that aired on Lifetime. The first season premiered on January 3rd, 2019 and concluded on January 5th of 2019. There are also some troubling rumors that surround his relationship with his wife, Beyonce. Some fans and critics believe that Jay-Z may have been romantically involved with Beyonce when she was underage, which would have made him 27 years old and her only 16. While there's no concrete evidence supporting these allegations, it's impossible to ignore the speculation that has persisted over the years about Jay-Z. Many point to the fact that Beyonce and Jay-Z's relationship was kept relatively private in the early stages, leading some to believe and wonder if they started dating at a time when Beyonce was still underage. It's important to note that there is no official confirmation of the timeline, and both Beyonce and Jay-Z have consistently denied any inappropriate behavior. However, things get even more complicated with a controversial report that surfaced on the website MediaTakeout.com. The site posted a claim that Beyonce's birth year might not be 1981 as she has publicly stated, but rather 1974. According to this report, they somehow obtained Texas Vital Statistic paperwork that allegedly listed Beyonce's birth year as 1974, which would make her much older than the age she has led her fans to believe. If Beyonce was actually born in 1974, it would make her 23 years old in 1997, the year she and Jay-Z are rumored to have begun their relationship. However, if she was born in 1981, she would have only been 16 years old in 1997 at the same time Jay-Z was 27. This raises the question, was their relationship romantic from the very beginning, or is there a possibility that they crossed paths before Beyonce was of legal age? Fans are still divided on this issue. Some argue that the birth year discrepancy is just another celebrity rumor without merit, while others believe it could be an attempt by Beyonce and her team to cover up the truth. Of course, the question still lingers. If Beyonce was indeed born in 1974, would it change how we view her relationship with Jay-Z? Was it simply a matter of timing, or could there have been a darker side to their connection? Now I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think there's any truth to the claims that Beyonce was born in 1974? And if so, does it change your perception of her relationship with Jay-Z? Was it appropriate for Jay-Z to be involved involved with Beyonce at the age of 27 if she was 16? Or does the birth year matter in this case? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below, you guys, and let me know what y'all think about this. Now, let's dig a little deeper into the issue of Beyonce's age and her relationship with Jay-Z. For years, fans have debated whether Beyonce was preyed upon when she was younger, particularly by Jay-Z, who was in his late 20s at the time. If we assume that Beyonce was born in 1981 and she was 16 in 1997, it's easy to view her as a victim, a young girl manipulated by an older, powerful man. This narrative has been embraced by many, painting Jay-Z as someone who took advantage of a teenager, making his involvement with her seem predatory. But here's where things get complicated. If the rumors about Beyonce being born in 1974 are true, that would place her at 23 years old in 1997, not 16. And people try to justify the fact that R. Kelly was also 27 when he married Aaliyah at the age of 15 in 1994. And then they have this comparison photo of Jay-Z and Beyonce and how they're saying that Jay-Z was 27 in 1997 when Beyonce was supposed to be 16. So if reports about Beyonce being born in 1974 are true, that would place her at 23 years old in 1997 and not 16.
Michael Jackson said, "Hi, Grandma."
Her father's mother died on September 1977, and his father died on December 30th, 1996. And then Tina's mother died on July 4th, 1980, on Independence Day. And father died in 1982. Here you see Beyonce, who looks to be between 4 or 6 years old, because she looks the same age and height of Blue Ivy, her daughter, at that age. Oh, and the Jacksons toured the U.S. before 1980, assuming he's talking about Tina's mother. Their last tour at the time was between 1979 and 1980, called Destiny World Tour, hence the name.
I smell a cover-up. If Beyonce's official birthday is September 4th of 1981 and her grandmother Agnes Beyonce passed away on July 1st of 1980, Beyonce would not have been born yet when her grandmother passed away. So that video of her standing with her grandmother before her grandmother died is weird. If Beyonce was reportedly 4 to 6 years old during the Jacksons tour, this will place her birth year between 1973 and 1975. Let's assume she was born in 1974. For this scenario, in 1979, she would have been 4 to 5 years old depending on her birth month. In 1980, she would have been 5 to 6 years old, which aligns with the claim. So her age in 1997 when she met Jay-Z, if she was born in 1974, then in 1997 she would have been 23 years old. And if Beyonce were truly 4 to 6 years old during the Jacksons Destiny's World Tour 1979 to 1980 concert tour, and her grandmother passed away in 1980, she could not have been born in 1981 as officially reported. Instead, she would likely have been born around 1974, and this would make her 23 years old when she met Jay-Z in 1997 and not the officially stated age of 16. And this timeline raises questions about the official narrative of her birth year in her early life, and also for me about all the other stuff she been lying about when it come down to her husband, Jay-Z.
Oh, also note Solange was born June 24th, 1986, and look in this video to be barely 1 year old. So again, if they were going to only Michael Jackson's concert, the only concert in that time frame was Michael Jackson Bad World Tour, which began in September 12th, 1987, and they didn't hit Houston, Texas till about April 1988. Long after her grandmother died. Tina's mother died in 1980. So that means Beyonce, whom, by the way, Media Takeout got right for a change, was born on September 4th, 1974.
Tina was only 20 years old when she had Beyonce, which is why she may have kept it a secret.
It's interesting because when Beyonce was 3, I took her to the Triumph tour with Michael Jackson and his brothers. Wow. And my friend said, well, if you go to this certain area at the Astrodome, he's going to come out that way. So I had her out there. It was a group of about 20 people.
These celebrities can't ever remember their lives, you guys, because the Triumph tour by the Jacksons, Michael Jackson and his brothers, took place in 1981 with performances across North America. They performed at the Astrodome in Houston, Texas on October 24th and 25th of 1981. So that means if Beyonce was born in 1981, which is her widely accepted birth year, she would have only been about 1 month old during the Triumph Tour concerts at the Astrodome. Therefore, it would not have been possible for her to attend at the age of 3.
It's interesting because when Beyonce was 3, I took her to the Triumph Tour with Michael Jackson and his brothers.
Wow.
And my friend said, well, if you go to this certain area at the Astrodome, he's going to come out that way. So I had her out there. It was a group of about 20 people. He walks over, tries to grab her. And she loved him so much, she was just overwhelmed as kids do, and she just started crying, and she wouldn't go to him. Yeah. But what are the odds?
So yeah, Tina, you sure right. What are the odds that if Beyonce was born in 1974, as some conspiracy theories suggest, she would have been 6 or 7 years old during the Astrodome concerts in 1981, which also does not align with Tina Lawson's claims of her being 3 years old.
He walks over, tries to grab her. And she loved him so much, she was just overwhelmed as kids do, and she just started crying, and she wouldn't go to him. Yeah. But what are the odds of that? Wow. And she said then, I'm going to be like Michael Jackson. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Leave your thoughts and opinions down below, you guys, and let me know where y'all think the lie is, because Media Takeout is saying that she was born in 1974, but FamilySearch.org and Google is saying that she was born in 1981, but her mama said that she was 3 in 1981. So I'm confused. Somebody lying. Because if Beyonce was born in 1978, as some rumors suggest, this would shift her age timeline significantly compared to her officially stated birth year of 1981. Let's break this down step by step. If Beyonce was born in 1978, that would mean she was 19 years old in 1997, the year she allegedly met Jay-Z. Officially, Beyonce has stated that her birth year is 1981, which would have made her 16 years old in 1997. The controversy stems from statements like the one I mentioned, where Beyonce's mother, Tina Knowles, allegedly says she took Beyonce to see the Jacksons in 1981 when Beyonce was already 3 years old. If true, this would place Beyonce's birth year at 1978 and not 1981. Why does this matter? It's because the timeline is important because of how it aligns with both Beyonce's career and her relationship with Jay-Z. If Beyonce was actually born in 1978, it would mean that she was older when she debuted with Destiny's Child and during key moments of her early career. It would change how people perceive the start of her relationship with Jay-Z when they allegedly began dating in the early 2000s. Beyonce was officially in her early 20s. However, if she was born in 1978, she would have been in her mid to late 20s. Rumors about celebrities' ages aren't uncommon, especially for women in the entertainment industry where youth is often emphasized. Beyonce has always projected a specific timeline for her career, and any deviation from that could create questions about her image, her narrative, and the industry's role in shaping her story. If Beyonce were born in 1978, she would have been 19 when she met Jay-Z in 1997 rather than 16. This might not seem like a huge difference, but it does shift the narrative surrounding her early career and personal life. And if Beyonce was born in 1974, she would have been 23 in 1997 when she met Jay-Z and not 16.
Beyonce was born on September 4th, 1981.
That she's so blatantly and constantly trying to remind us. But with the old family video.
Hi Daryl, this is Beyonce. Yeah, I've been making improvement and I'm ready to go to Atlanta so I can meet TLC. Hey!
Time frames and her daddy admitting on the radio at the Breakfast Club
where he said that L.A. Reid had a girls group, but I bet you didn't know who the lead singer was, and that it was Pink. And that she was the exact same age as Beyonce, and there used to be this battle about which group was better. We had Usher, he was the same age. They were all 14 or 15 years old.
That she was the same age as Pink, the singer who was born September 8th, 1979. And Usher, who was born October 14th, 1978. And one of the hosts, Jay-Z, throwing her a 70s party when she was supposedly born in the 80s. So, was Beyonce really born September 4th, 1979? They made her seem younger for marketing purposes. So the videos of her going to a TLC concert, which was around the time they came out, which will put us in the year of 1991, will put her at the age of 12 or 13 years old.
the entire narrative, doesn't it? Because if she was 23 at the time of her rumored relationship with Jay-Z, it wouldn't fit the profile of someone being preyed upon. Instead, it suggests that she was fully aware of her actions and possibly even sought out the relationship with Jay-Z, seeing her potential benefits of attaching herself to one of the biggest rap stars in the industry.
Everybody knows that Beyonce has long hinted at Jay-Z's devilish behavior. There are 3 signs suggesting she wants to leave him, but can't. Firstly, Beyonce often reminisces about Destiny's Child. The common story is that she left for her career, but if that's true, why does she still call Kelly and Michelle her sisters? Some speculate that she didn't leave voluntarily. At the time, she was in a relationship with Jay-Z, and Destiny's Child was managed by her father. To get rid of her father-in-law, Jay-Z reportedly forced her to quit the band and follow him. Secondly, Beyonce revealed how she first met Jay-Z. Fans noticed that the accusations against him weren't unfounded. Beyonce had hinted at the truth, telling reporters that she met Jay-Z in 1997 when she was just 16. The age gap raised suspicions and led people to believe she was subtly confirming the charges against him. Beyonce is trying to make Jay-Z take the fall for their messy actions by divorcing him, setting him up for failure, and then throwing him under the bus.
Now, y'all know how people have been coming for Jay-Z and accusing him of being a manipulator who has been allegedly forcing Beyonce into doing some pretty bad stuff, right? Saying that not only is Beyonce as bad as Jay-Z, but she's even worse, and he gave some shocking examples of her alleged activities. There's a lot of insane things going in on Hollywood right now, specifically between Jay-Z and Beyonce. Well, people kind of assumed that the reason Beyonce was leaving Jay-Z was that she was tired of him using and manipulating her. Well, see, there have been reports for a very long time about how Jay-Z is not exactly a stand-up guy, and he's involved in a lot of questionable and shady activities behind the scenes. Now, I'm not going to go into all the deep details about the things Jay-Z's been accused of. There's a lot of allegations and rumors, but for a long time, people have kind of assumed that Beyonce is another one of his victims, especially because she has a squeaky clean image in the eyes of the public. Beyonce spilled the tea in an interview saying, "I was 18 when we first met, 19 when we started dating. There was no rush. No one expected me to run off and get married." The result of this, people often see Beyonce as a victim, and she is often left out of the narrative whenever Jay-Z is getting dragged for his not-so-nice activities. Even when the couple is getting dragged for allegedly blackballing the careers of people in the industry, people focus more on Jay-Z's part and how he is using his powers to influence and to blackball other artists. But Beyonce is left out of the conversation because she's the media's darling. Well, when the news was broken by blogger Storm Monroe a couple of months ago, everybody was on Beyonce's side, talking about how great it was that she was leaving him for good.
I would have been willing to sympathize with Beyonce, seeing as the lie about her age came from her mother and her father, allegedly, and not so much her. I mean, I doubt that she was the one who wanted to get into the industry, and it was her idea to lie about her age in order for her to seem or appear younger to her audience. But the fact ain't no way she don't know that she is older than the birth year that she's telling the whole world is diabolical. And if she allegedly did know this information, you guys, and didn't say anything and continue to live the lie, then it becomes on her, because after a while that you know what your parents do, it's like you can't continue to blame them because you then become an adult. And if you start living in the lie and you get caught in the lie, then everybody wants to know what else you've been lying about. And another thing that I wanted to point out, you guys, this was my own theory that I came up with. I don't even know if what I'm saying even sound right. And we just gonna say allegedly, and we just gonna let it be known that we are just speculating, and we gonna let bygones be bygones. I'm pretty sure that Beyonce and Jay-Z knew about that indictment that they filed against Diddy, where they named Jay-Z as celebrity A, Diddy as celebrity B, and somebody else as celebrity C. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When they first filed it in October before they named Jay-Z, and after Tony Busby has sent Jay-Z a mediation letter, he gonna come back to Twitter under Roc Nation and post some type of response to Tony Busby talking about that he was being blackmailed and extorted. So that's why Tony Busby had refiled the lawsuit to name Jay-Z in the lawsuit, since he thought that he wanted to play games. And so a point that I wanted to make, you guys, was when the 13-year-old basically said that she had snuck out and she went to this after party, and she said that Diddy's chauffeur had basically invited her to the after party, saying that she was just what Diddy liked. She got in the car, and she said they drove about 20 minutes to the after party, you guys. And when she got to the after party, she walked in, they gave her a drink, and they made her sign a non-disclosure agreement. She said the drink made her feel woozy. She said she went into the room, she lied down. That's when Diddy, Jay-Z, and another celebrity came in, and that's allegedly where all the stuff happened. But this was 24 years ago, so let's just be honest that not all of the details is probably gonna make sense. And I mean, she did have some inconsistencies in her story, because the news was saying that the people that she was saying that was in attendance at this party really wasn't at this party. So I got to thinking, talking, y'all. So y'all just bear with me. So my theory is that 13-year-old girl said that the VMAs in the year 2000 happened at the Radio City Music Hall in New York City. She said that at this location was where she was picked up by Diddy's chauffeur and taken, she said, about 20 minutes to the after party. But if this was 24 years ago and she was 13 at the time, that is a long time to be able to remember small details, especially when you have been traumatized. So I'ma just give the girl the benefit of the doubt that maybe the location of the after party wasn't 20 minutes away. Maybe it was longer than that, but she was just so excited as a 13-year-old knowing that she finna go see some celebrities at this after party. And I mean, yeah, although she couldn't get into the VMAs, hey, but at least I get to go to the after party. Because if you ask me, that ain't no crazier than Geronda Pace skipping school and lying to her parents about her being at R. Kelly's child P trial, talking about she didn't believe what they were saying about him and he was innocent in her eyes, all for her to manipulate his weakness just to turn around years later, just like the 13-year-old, and pressing charges, making sure that man go to jail. It just is what it is. We gotta take it how we can get it, y'all. Now, I ain't saying that the little girl is lying. All I'm saying is maybe she got the locations mixed up, because we already know that Diddy used to throw a whole bunch of white parties. We already know that, y'all. So what I was thinking was maybe it wasn't at the Roc Music Fest. Maybe it could have been his July 4th, 2000 all white party. And I'm yelling, y'all, because I'm invested. I've been working on this video about 4 days. I'm knee deep. So yeah, the 13-year-old could have had some inconsistencies in her story. And as far as we're concerned, because of the indictment, we know that Diddy was in the room and we know that Jay-Z was in the room, but we don't know who the other female celebrity was that was in the room. However, at the Roc Music Fest, the VMAs after party, J-Lo was there. And of course, Diddy was there, you guys. And Jay-Z was also there. But I think that this was the wrong location. I don't think that the 13-year-old knew what she was talking about, because this was inside of a club. However, at Diddy's July 4th, 2000s all-white party, that was at a house. And unfortunately for J-Lo, I feel like she was just drug in it just because she's guilty by association, because she was allegedly linked to the legal controversy involving Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z, who were accused of hurting the 13-year-old girl at an after party following the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards in New York. Photos showing Jennifer Lopez in a confrontation with Diddy on the same night have brought attention back to the events surrounding that evening. Jennifer Lopez has not been named in the lawsuit, though. And while there is no suggestion that Jennifer Lopez is the unnamed third celebrity in the lawsuit, the resurfacing of these photos has drawn renewed attention to her past relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. And when the photos were released of Diddy and Jennifer Lopez arguing, reportedly on the same night that Diddy was accused of raping a 13-year-old girl while two celebrities watched. The alleged incident is said to have occurred at a house away from the nightclub, but the timing adds a troubling layer to the evening's events and raises questions about the dynamics of Diddy and Lopez's relationship during a time now overshadowed by serious allegations. The couple stayed together for another 5 months, eventually splitting up in February of 2001. Y'all were thinking that the other female celebrity in the room could have been Jennifer Lopez, but I'm thinking that it could have been Aaliyah, because when I Googled Beyonce for 2000 VMA Awards, this is the video I found of Beyonce interviewing Aaliyah, and this was 1 year before Aaliyah passed away. Keep up, y'all.
One of the hottest female artists out here, Miss Aaliyah. How you doing, girl?
It's so good to see you.
You too. She's just looking fabulous. What are you wearing tonight?
I'm wearing Gucci shoes, Gucci. Got a little Indian jewelry working.
Oh, that is hot. All right. Now, you've been working it with these movies. Were you nervous?
Very nervous, but I'm real happy. It's something I've wanted for a long time, so finally make that transition. It's great.
You're doing another movie this summer, right?
Hopefully things work out. Everything will be rolling.
That's great. What are you looking forward to seeing?
Tonight?
Yes.
I want to see D'Angelo perform.
Girl, I'm with you because you know he's fine.
He's fine. He's hot.
So Beyonce said that her and Jay-Z started talking in 1997, you guys, and Aaliyah didn't pass away until 2001, but the VMAs was in 2000 in New York. Does that mean that Jay-Z was talking to Aaliyah and Beyonce around the same time? Or at least he was trying to, because like I said earlier, Aaliyah wasn't interested in him. She wanted Dame. And then how Beyonce was gushing with with Aaliyah over D'Angelo performing at the VMAs, y'all. D'Angelo in the year 2000 was 26 years old at the time. But Jay-Z, who was dating Beyonce, was 30 years old at the time. And R. Kelly, who had messed with Aaliyah, was 33 years old in the year 2000. So please make it make sense, because it seems like these girls was okay with talking to older men. So y'all remember in the beginning of the video that I told y'all I wanted to make this small insert about Diddy purchasing a property at 40 Hedges Drive or something like that in New York in 1998 for like $2.5 million. Well, like I was saying earlier, it's possible that the 13-year-old girl may have confused the 2000 VMAs with Diddy's July 2nd, 2000 all-white party, especially given the passage of time and how memory can blur details over 2 decades. Both events were high-profile gatherings that attracted similar celebrities, and both occurred in New York during the same year, adding to potential confusion. If the 13-year-old attended an exclusive star-studded event in 2000, it's entirely plausible she might conflate the two in hindsight, especially if she remembers seeing prominent figures like Diddy or others associated with both events. However, there are key differences. At the VMAs in September 2000, there were a televised event with a structured format, performances, awards, and red carpets held at Radio City Music Hall, and public attendance was limited. Versus Diddy's all-white party was a private, invitation-only social event in the Hamptons on July 2nd of 2000. And if her memories lean more toward being at a casual social gathering rather than a formal award show, she might indeed be recalling the all-white party rather than the VMAs. I was able to find these photos of all of the celebrities that so-called attended Diddy's July 2nd all-white party for the 4th of July. And I really highly believe that this could have been the location that the 13-year-old girl was speaking about. But with it being 24 years ago and all that stuff happened, and they gave her something in her drink, I mean, I doubt that she would remember exact details. But this seems to be more fitting along the lines of what she was talking about, because unfortunately, I know that a lot of people want it to be J-Lo, but I really, really heavily feel in my heart that it was Aaliyah, because Aaliyah had already been through those things with R. Kelly. So everybody in this situation right here knew that Aaliyah wasn't a virgin. So I'm pretty sure if anything had happened in front of Aaliyah, that she wouldn't open her mouth, just because she didn't open her mouth any when it came to R. Kelly. And y'all remember when Dame Dash was saying that Aaliyah didn't even like speaking on what had happened with her with R. Kelly, but that doesn't mean that she wasn't promiscuous. That doesn't mean that she still wasn't sleeping around. That doesn't mean that she still wasn't living her life. Because one thing I have been asking myself is, why the heck does Jay-Z's face look like this? He looks like a deer caught in headlights, like he did something he didn't have no business. And y'all can't say that I'm lying or that I'm stretching or I'm reaching too far for the truth, because every celebrity that they said was at the 2000 VMAs was at this July 4th party. And thank you, Spirit, for reminding me of my next point, which is Aaliyah and Dame Dash wasn't even dating at this point in time. Aaliyah was just there at the party with Diddy. You see, Dame Dash got his arms around somebody else because Jay-Z reportedly expressed romantic interest in Aaliyah around 1999. Although they were seen together at various events, their relationship remained platonic. During this period, Damon Dash, Jay-Z's business partner, also pursued Aaliyah. Ultimately, Aaliyah and Dash began dating in the summer of 2000. Dame Dash later commented on the situation, stating, "I did not know Jay was trying to holler at her, but then again, it just happened like that. He was trying, I was trying, everybody was trying. He was going hard." So Diddy had his July 4th all-white party, you guys, and it is possible that Aaliyah and Damon Dash crossed paths or further solidified their connection at Diddy's July 2nd, 2000 4th of July all-white party, as such events often brought together high-profile celebrities, including both Aaliyah and Dame Dash. While there isn't specific evidence directly linking their relationship start to this party, it was held during the same summer they reportedly began dating. Okay, are y'all still following me? The whole world thinks that J-Lo was the other celebrity in the room with Jay-Z and Diddy, but I highly, highly believe my own personal opinion, and I'm entitled to my own opinion. Can't nobody take it from me. But Aaliyah was that celebrity. She was the one. Because leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments and let me know why y'all think Aaliyah looks inebriated like this, because everybody in the picture look trucked up. Tony Busby needs to reevaluate what he done filed with the courts, because I think I found the answer. Something fishy is going on here, and if I make it my last will and testament to figure it out, you got dang right I'm gonna be here every day until we figure it out and Jay-Z is in jail like R. Kelly. This allegedly is the house that is located at 40 Hedges Banks Drive in New York. And I don't remember the exact address off the top of my head, but this is the house, okay? So this is the house, and didn't that girl say that it was a white house with a U-shaped driveway? Ain't that what she said, y'all? And I'll take my props where due down in the comments, y'all, because this was a lot of research, okay? So I know that y'all know that the connection that I'm trying to make is intriguing, but, you know, we have to also be smart about this. It's important to be cautious when drawing conclusions based on circumstantial evidence or speculation. And while it's true that the property at 40 Hedges Banks Drive in East Hampton has a U-shaped driveway, which aligns with the description given by the 13-year-old girl, that detail alone doesn't definitively link the party or event she described to this specific property. It's also worth noting that Diddy sold the property in 2020, 2 decades after the events that we're referencing. And while selling a property might raise questions in some contexts, it's not uncommon for high-profile individuals to buy and sell real estate for a variety of personal or financial reasons. Without concrete evidence, it would be speculative to suggest that the sale was connected to any allegations or investigations. And if there were any concerns about this property being tied to inappropriate or illegal activities, those claims would need to be substantiated with credible evidence, eyewitness accounts, or legal proceedings. It's also important to rely on verified information from trustworthy sources when discussing such sensitive matters. So that's my little disclaimer, y'all. So now I can get back to being delusional. So the girl also said that she was at the Radio City Music Hall. This was the inconsistency, y'all. But the distance between this house at 40 Hedges Banks Drive in East Hampton, New York, and the Radio City Music Hall in New York City is approximately 107 miles. Driving between these locations typically takes around 2 hours, depending on traffic conditions. Radio City Music Hall is located in Midtown Manhattan at 1260 Avenue of the Americas and 50th Street. The venue is renowned for hosting events such as the MTV Video Music Awards, and given the distance, attending an event at Radio City Music Hall and then traveling to East Hampton for a party on the same day would be feasible, though it would require careful planning to accommodate the travel time. I had to go on Google Maps for y'all and get a visual, you guys, but I was thinking that maybe the girl could have been disoriented due to substances, stress, or exhaustion, because I watched another YouTube video where there was a girl who said that Diddy had used her as a human food platter when she was like a teenager or something, and when they took her from her grandma's house, they made her eat jelly beans that made her feel sleepy. So I was thinking, if they did it with one child, why would they not continue doing it with others? Maybe they gave the girl some jelly beans and she passed out and thought that it took 20 minutes to get to the location, but it really took 2 hours. I mean, we really never know. I guess that's why it's my job to do the research and it's y'all's job to just enjoy the content. However, if you put it in the instance that she was disoriented due to substances, stress, or exhaustion, which might have distorted her perception of time, if she had been given a substance that induced sleep or altered her mental state, her ability to accurately gauge the duration of a journey could be compromised. For instance, if she fell asleep during the drive, she might have thought the trip only took 20 minutes when it actually took 2 hours. People often lose track of time when they fall asleep in transit and can perceive the journey as much shorter than it actually was. If she was under the influence of substance, it could further impair her memory or her sense of time, making the distance seem shorter than it was. And if she was stressed or traumatized, these conditions could also have played a role in her misinterpreting the timeline or not recalling events accurately. Considering the distance of approximately 2 hours between Radio City Music Hall and Diddy's East Hampton property, it would be reasonable to suspect that her time estimation may have been influenced by factors outside of her control. This possibility should be considered when analyzing her account. So I guess all I'm really trying to say at the end of the day, you guys, is not everybody is lying on these celebrities. We don't have to lie to kick it, especially when we're civilians and we don't have as much to lose as the celebrities. And this just goes for everybody. The 13-year-old girl, Jay-Z's alleged son, Ramir, and anybody else. Celebrities are always going to make civilians feel like they're crazy because they don't want to lose all of the money and stuff they got. Like Diddy and R. Kelly and Jeffrey Epstein, did they really want to be sitting in jail? Yeah, I wouldn't either. And just like R. Kelly said he wasn't guilty in 2002 and then again in 2008, he was guilty. So just like Jay-Z saying he ain't guilty, I think he is. And I think Diddy is too. And I think they all need to go down together. Lock them all up. And another thing that I'm saying at the end of the day is I feel like none of these celebrities want to lose their hard-earned legacy, but they tarnished R. Kelly's. But y'all was over here doing everything with R. Kelly, so why shouldn't y'all's images be tarnished as well? I just want to make my last few little low points, y'all, and then I'm gonna get out y'all hair, because I just want to make my point that Aaliyah's involvement in this case against R. Kelly, how she was listed as a Jane Doe in his indictment and she not even alive no more. I feel like it could be the same thing with Jay-Z's case. Like, yeah, she's not listed in the indictment because she's not here no more, so they listed her as Celebrity B. And I'm just saying allegedly because I ain't got no proof, but it's like when you really think about it, would J-Lo really be in the room with Diddy and Jay-Z allowing for them to harm some 13-year-old girl, or would it seem more beneficial for it to be Aaliyah because she already been caught up in those controversies with R. Kelly and how Javante Cunningham had already went on Lifetime and told them that that the dang tour bus door had swung open and she seen R. Kelly in there sleeping with Aaliyah. So you mean to tell me that y'all can believe all of everything else we didn't heard about Surviving R. Kelly, but y'all can't believe that Aaliyah could be Celebrity B? Let's be for real if we gonna be anything. And all I'm saying, y'all, is the speculation around Aaliyah's possible role in these situations is certainly something that can be discussed, especially considering her ties to various people in the entertainment industry. However, without concrete evidence, it's essential to approach this carefully. As we've rightly pointed out, the combination of her past with R. Kelly and her close relationships with other figures like Diddy and Jay-Z and the troubling patterns of behavior surrounding those years make it understandable that I might be trying to draw connections. But it's also important to distinguish between what can be definitively proven and what remains speculative. And so my questions about Aaliyah's potential involvement as Celebrity V is valid in the context of trying to make sense of her life and relationships, and whether she was aware of or participated in certain things is part of the puzzle that we may never fully understand due to the complexity and secrecy surrounding the industry at that time. But if I'm trying to understand all these connections more clearly, then y'all can help me break them down based on the available information in this video, and leave y'all thoughts and opinions down below, you guys, and let me know what y'all think. And I want to also highlight how Aaliyah looks 12 in this picture but is wearing a necklace with R. Kelly on it, y'all. Now I know that y'all noticed that that's him on the chain, like on the album cover. And I really think that the only reason that Beyonce decided to leave Destiny's Child and go solo was to be with Jay-Z because of the connections and stuff in the industry that he could help her out with. I mean, although she is now way bigger than him and doesn't no longer need him, I really think that what that guy I don't remember his name, Chokey or something, whatever his name was, when he was having that conversation about Jay-Z and he was saying Jay-Z was gay, I don't put it past him. I don't put it past him for Jay-Z to be gay, because that just seems more logical and it makes sense why Beyonce never moved on. She probably able to have her cake and eat it too in the relationship.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separately. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z's up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off, he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it, and he knows it. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know.
If I wouldn't have been privy to knowing that Beyonce and her family been lying about her age all these years, you guys, I would say let Beyonce go. Let her be great. Let her keep whatever she want and just throw Jay-Z under the jail. But she guilty too. She guilty by association. She's an enabler. Lock her up too.
Yeah, I might have to ask Jay something. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce divorce. Okay? And she may or may not do an interview, but their publicist is gonna release something He's gonna say, oh, the Carters have been separated for some time.
Because if I'm not mistaken, there is an interview out there somewhere that someone was commenting on. I seen it a long time ago. I'm gonna have to find it for y'all. But in a 2013 interview, Beyonce's Uncle Larry stated that Jay-Z was quote unquote after Beyonce and that she wasn't, going on to suggest that Beyonce didn't find Jay-Z attractive. Larry saying that Jay-Z was after Beyonce, but she wasn't, speaks to him plotting to get Beyonce very young and very early on, and her not wanting any dealings with him. That speaks volumes. It goes on to say that Beyonce's uncle exposes family secrets, and Kelly Rowland started something when she revealed her true feelings about Beyonce on her new single Dirty Laundry.
When I separate ways, but I was happy she was killing it. Bird in a cage, you would never know what I was dealing with.
I missed you, not your dad, and especially not me. He turned me against my sister.
Because now one of Beyonce's uncles is doing the same thing by revealing Beyonce was forced into show business by Matthew Knowles and that she didn't really want to marry Jay-Z. On Beyonce, before becoming Mrs. Jay-Z, he was after her and she wasn't. She told me she wasn't too particularly fond of him. I would see him with her in pictures of them, and I heard rumors they were together, and she told me no. You know how women get that look like ill? I guess she wasn't attracted to him, but as long as he treats her well and makes her happy, that's all I ever wanted. He's okay with me. On Beyonce getting married, I was surprised she married him. I think she got tired of being alone. When you have as much money as she does, she has to be careful about people wanting her for her money. And apparently he had as much as she had. I don't think the family cared. Just that whatever he's doing, he's making money, and it made it okay. So when Beyonce got married to Jay-Z on April 4th of 2008, that would have made her 33 years old. But since her birthday wasn't until September, then she was still 33. But if she was born in 1978, she would have been 29 years old in 2008 when she got married, or at the least 28. They was basically saying that Beyonce wasn't even attracted to Jay-Z and did not want to talk to him, and her family pushed her to talk to him because he was the biggest one in the industry. Because that is a far jump from what Beyonce's boyfriend looked like in high school compared to what Jay-Z looks like. Because that is just nasty. Like, if I was Beyonce, I wouldn't want to get with him either because they kids not even cute. Beyonce looked like she was supposed to have beautiful children. Those children look mediocre. Like, I'm just sorry to say, please don't hate me out, but I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have to wait until they get them some plastic surgery or something. I'm just sorry to say, please don't hate me out, but it's just like Blue Ivy is not giving Beyonce's daughter. If you know, if you know, you know.
Girl got your daughter on the Hollywood auction block right now, allegedly, right? Your daughter is 12 years old. She been dressing like that since 11. You had her on the Renaissance tour, was a full-blown LGBTQ plus whatever tour. Grown men up there dressing like women. And you got your baby on the stage, and you're protecting children with Beyonce's vulgar language and the fucking music. While she's on stage, there's rapping and cursing on while the baby's on stage.
Is the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their age.
Because this is the same nigga that told Nas he threw condoms on his baby seat.
The nigga's a hypocrite. Now you a father, and now you gotta worry about your kids and this, that, and other. But he was a grown-ass motherfucking man when he threw condoms on motherfucking Nas' baby seat.
Why did Jay-Z mysteriously disappear from Beyonce's NFL show? This is a trap Beyonce had set for him a long time ago. Every time Beyonce performs, Jay-Z almost always attends in person to support her. However, this time he was absent. In fact, Beyonce had already prepared for this when Diddy's scandal broke. Jay-Z's relationship with Diddy could affect her career. So to protect her career, Beyonce gradually started reducing the number of events she attended with her husband, and also limited her daughter's interactions with her father. However, Beyonce gradually realized that protecting her family's reputation also caused her to lose the warmth and support of a family she deserved. After Jay-Z was accused of a crime, Beyonce accelerated her plan. To protect her and her children's reputation from being affected by her husband, Beyonce took her daughter with her to training sessions to avoid being photographed with Jay-Z. She feared that the children would be hurt by public opinion because of Jay-Z. However, this need for control put a lot of pressure on Blue Ivy Carter, which made her afraid to make eye contact with Beyonce during performances.
Thinking that he just getting ready to take one of the pawns and knock the king down. No, they gonna jump it right back. But they just wanted to see if you was gonna play. But now, the fact that he responded, which he normally don't do, shows him out of character. Right. Just like him at the Mustafa premiere.
This way to your right.
Yeah.
Right? If you see him, this nigga got his arm in his pocket that's next to his wife, his hand in his pocket that's next to his wife, and got his arm around his mother-in-law. That's kind of strange, right?
How so?
Nigga, your arm going around your wife, right?
He wanted to show maybe that they was cool.
Right? And then Jay goes, he claps. Like, okay, like that's enough pictures. He's uncomfortable. That's not Jay-Z.
Jay-Z's always supposed to be cool.
So lastly, you guys, I want to speak on this Foxy Brown situation briefly because I don't think that she's ever going to come out and tell on Jay-Z. I think that she's trying to be like an Azriel Clary in the game, how Azriel Clary was with R. Kelly. Oh, why are we talking about Azriel? Because, girl, you went and did that interview with Jason Lee, girl. I'm so glad I didn't see it when it came out because how dare you go on Jason Lee trying to manipulate that man as if you was a victim, girl, when that was your man. You remember what you told us? Because, girl, if that interview wasn't full of lies and what you should have did was came and let me interview you because I was your biggest supporter, girl, trying to pray and cry for you to come home, just for you to come home and slap us all in the face. And after you didn't get the recognition you wanted after your mama set you up for failure, which is something Jason Lee should have researched instead of letting your ASS come on his platform and lie. And where is Joycelyn? She still ain't did no interview, and this is your 30th one. And your first mistake was allegedly creating that Patreon trying to act like Joycelyn was out here telling her story when it was really you, so you could release your social media handles around the same time, hoping that you could gain some damn influence. Cause Azriel, go to hell. These fans and supporters out here ain't gonna never give you a chance, girl. You probably gonna have to come on my channel and do a public apology before we accept you back. Now, like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by the thought of Azriel Clary thinking that she was about to play with me. Foxy Brown is never going to turn on Jay-Z unless they tell her that they gonna indict her as well for messing up an active investigation.
Never stuck my cock in the Fox's box, but damn if I ain't open Pandora's box.
Was I shocked? Yeah. When Jay said the line in Picasso Baby? Yes, because we've talked about that. We have a history that supersedes music, and we know how this business works. We sit back and we laugh at those rumors. We laugh at that. I think he began to feel the pressure because people were saying my age, the age thing. She was 15, 14. She was 15, 14, and after a while that gets to a person. The Jay I know, the Shawn I know, never comes out of character.
On Lipstick Alley, I found some other posts concerning Foxy Brown and Jay-Z, and it goes on to say some reports state that they started dating when she was 14 or 15. But let's stick with what is widely known. Foxy Brown, aka Inga Martin, was only 16 years old when Jay-Z and her were sleeping together, allegedly. Jay-Z was 25. Also, there were rumors that he gave her an STD. I find it quite interesting that Nick Cannon was the first celebrity to bring this to the table.
At what age was Foxy Brown signed?
I wasn't paying attention to Foxy Brown.
But that's...
I didn't sign Foxy Brown.
I know you did. I'm just asking a question.
I'm on the block. I'm responsible for everybody.
You the boss.
Yo, don't beat around the bush. Say what you want
I'm
to say.
just asking.
What do you mean by that question?
I was just asking.
What are you insinuating?
I'm not insinuating. I was asking the
Brown?
question. I thought Foxy was like 16. That's all I'm saying.
It sounds like you...
All I'm saying is in this industry, when we live in these glass houses...
It seems like you got a question for Jay. Ask him. Y'all keep asking me questions y'all want to ask him because he ain't here. Ask him. I ain't got shit to do with that, and I don't even know nothing about that. You playing.
You my man.
I know not with me. It's playing. When you say that Foxy was 16 when she got signed, why did you say that just now?
When I first was introduced to who Foxy was, I thought there was something between Foxy and Jay.
Oh, yeah, Jay. But that's the question you're trying to ask me. You're a funny cat. I ain't know. I forgot you that funny.
Another post on Lipstick Alley stated, I have this theory that Jay-Z paid Foxy Brown off, and that's why Foxy disappeared and we don't hear from her no more. I love her music, but she didn't make nearly enough money like Lil' Kim did just to ride off into the sunset. But if she got a 68-figure settlement from these nasty perverts, that would make way more sense. Someone responded to that post and said yes and no. Foxy backed away from the industry because she felt like being in it cost her too much trouble, and once she lost her hearing and went to prison, she just didn't want to do it anymore. Kim, unfortunately, didn't make a lot of money, which is why she still has to do shows to stay afloat. Missy, Eve, nor Foxy do a lot of shows. Her fan page spills all Kim's tea. I don't know how they got the inside scoop. Foxy and her brothers acquired a bunch of brownstones in the area they're from and apparently still own them. And then the millions that Diddy and Jay-Z allegedly gave her, Jay even fixed her royalty rate above the industry standard rate. Now, I do think somebody pays her to keep quiet now, though. Then it just makes me speculate, like, why would Beyonce or her team go to such lengths to hide her true age? Could it be that the age discrepancy served as a way to present her as a vulnerable, innocent figure, which would resonate with the public's perception of a young girl being taken advantage of by a powerful man? Because if Beyonce indeed had a much older birth year, then the idea of her being naive or unaware of her relationship with Jay-Z becomes far less convincing. Moreover, Beyonce's family dynamic is another layer to consider. According to her uncle, Beyonce was initially repulsed by the idea of speaking to Jay-Z, describing him as an older man who didn't align with her preferences. However, her family allegedly pushed her to connect with Jay-Z largely because of his growing fame and influence in the music industry. He was, after all, one of the biggest rappers of the time, and the family seemed to recognize the benefits of having their daughter form an association with him. They believed it would elevate her career and bring significant opportunities her way. If Beyonce was truly uncomfortable with Jay-Z in the beginning, could her family have been pressuring her into the relationship for career purposes? This presents another side of the story, one where Beyonce may not have been as passive in the situation as people often claim. Her family, aware of the potential career boost, may have seen the relationship as an opportunity for their daughter, and it's possible that they pushed her to make it happen regardless of her initial discomfort. So was this a case of an older, powerful man taking advantage of a younger girl, or was it a calculated move by Beyonce and her family to climb the ladder of success in the music industry? If she was indeed 23 in 1997, it would have placed her in a position to make an informed decision, challenging the notion that she was merely a victim of Jay-Z's advances. So let's go a little further and let's talk about Beyonce's alleged complicity in Jay-Z's actions and their relationship dynamics, because Beyonce's involvement in Jay-Z's controversies and actions over the years, some people might argue that Beyonce has always been oblivious to what Jay-Z was involved in, whether it was his alleged dealings with underage girls or his other questionable relationships and actions in the music industry. But when you step back and look at the bigger picture, it becomes more and more suspicious that Beyonce, the woman who built an empire alongside him, seems to be just as involved, or at the very least complicit, in the things Jay-Z has been associated with. Now consider the trajectory of Beyonce's career and the women who were around her in the early days, particularly during her time with Destiny's Child. Many of the women who started out with her in the group, as well as those who were prominent figures in her circle early on, have faded from the spotlight. Their careers haven't taken off in the same way Beyonce's did, whether it was through strategic decisions, industry connections, or other factors. It's striking that Beyonce's success skyrocketed while many others around her didn't see the same level of fame or fortune. And then we have to address the timing surrounding the allegations against Jay-Z in the early 2000s, particularly involving the case with the 13-year-old girl. During this time, there were strong rumors circulating about Jay-Z's involvement with young girls, which only intensified as R. Kelly's own legal battles around similar issues gained public attention. Now, Tony Busby, a prominent lawyer, came forward with a lawsuit in which he name-dropped Jay-Z in connection with the case. And during this time, Beyonce's response was telling. She didn't come out to defend herself, nor did she attempt to clarify her relationship with Jay-Z in the face of these accusations. Instead, Beyonce took it upon herself to protect Jay-Z's image. She shifted the public focus onto her own career, allowing her name to trend harder than his and essentially drowning out the negative press surrounding him. Why did Beyonce, who has always been fiercely protective of her personal brand, choose this particular moment to not address the allegations against her husband directly, but instead focus on making sure her name was in the headlines more than his? Is this just a coincidence, or does it suggest that Beyonce is far more involved in these situations than she lets on? It seems that instead of distancing herself from the drama, she actively worked to control the narrative in a way that would benefit her. In fact, this behavior could suggest that she knew much more about the allegations against Jay-Z than she was letting on, and chose to protect him rather than protect herself or the public from the truth. But in a way, it could be argued that Beyonce's support of Jay-Z during this time shows a deeper level of complicity, perhaps because she knew what was going on and chose to align herself with him anyway. Why else would she be so determined to drown out the negative press surrounding him, especially when it would have been easier for her to distance herself from the allegations and simply focus on her own success? The fact that she didn't speaks volumes. If Beyonce was truly unaware of what was going on, would she have been so quick to defend Jay-Z and ensure that his name didn't get tainted by the accusations? Could this indicate that she was in on more of Jay-Z's actions than anyone might think? Or perhaps more likely, it is a a sign that Beyonce's loyalty to Jay-Z has always been a calculated decision, one based on mutual benefit in the music industry and the power they both accumulated by being together. For anyone still holding on to the belief that Beyonce is completely innocent and had no involvement in Jay-Z's actions, the evidence just doesn't seem to add up. Between the women who have faded from the spotlight, the fact that Beyonce's name always seems to trend at the right time to protect Jay-Z, and her strategic positioning throughout their careers, it's hard to ignore the possibility that she knows far more than she's letting on. So what do you guys think? Is Beyonce more complicit in Jay-Z's actions than we realize? Does her handling of the 13-year-old girl scandal tell us something about her knowledge of the situation? Drop your thoughts and opinions down below. I want to know how you all feel about the way Beyonce has handled these controversies and whether you think she's been hiding something all along. As we continue to peel back the layers surrounding Jay-Z and Beyonce, it's important to understand the control they both have over their public image. Both are master strategists when it comes to curating how they are perceived, and this isn't just about managing PR. From their social media to their exclusive interviews, Jay-Z and Beyonce have consistently controlled their narrative. This has made it increasingly difficult for any allegations or rumors to stick in the public's mind for too long, no matter how damaging they might be. One might come to ask, how do they manage to stay untouchable, especially when it comes to serious allegations? The answer often lies in the powerful relationships they've built within the entertainment industry. When you reach a certain level of success like they have, you become not only a cultural figure, but also an industry mogul.
And Jay-Z's really strong response to that. And we know that obviously the litigation is happening now, so, but from our standpoint, our relationship's not changing with them, including our preparations for
the next Super Bowl. The first part of your question is how the relationship is evolving. I think they're getting incredibly comfortable with not just the Super Bowl, but other events that they've advised us on, helped us with. It's been helpful in the social justice area to us on many occasions. They've been great partners that have provided a lot of value for us.
These individuals have the power to influence how stories are reported, who gets to tell them and when. It's no surprise that a celebrity like Beyonce, with years of experience navigating the media landscape, will be able to neutralize some of the damaging rumors that have come her way. But what about those who don't have the power or the resources to deflect negative press? This is where we start seeing the difference between the protection afforded to the elite versus those who are just trying to break into the industry. Jay-Z and Beyonce are protected by an entire infrastructure that allows them to stay one step ahead of the media and the law. It's not just their public relations team. There's an entire culture of silence within the entertainment world where powerful people are often allowed to skate by without facing the full consequences of their actions. The question remains, what is the true cost of this silence? Why does the industry, which profits immensely from these stars, often look the other way when it comes to their personal lives? As we've seen in the cases of figures like R. Kelly and Diddy, the music industry has a troubling history of overlooking serious accusations, often for the sake of protecting its biggest money makers. And when we look back at the rise of Beyonce, particularly during her time in Destiny's Child, it's hard not to notice the sudden disappearance of some of the other talented women who shared that spotlight. What happened to the other girls in Destiny's Child? What happened to Anne Marie? Why is it that after Beyonce went solo, those same women no longer achieved the same level of fame or success? This isn't just speculation. It's part of the conversation about how the industry operates behind the scenes. It's about how power is wielded not only by men, but also by women in the industry who may have also chose to turn a blind eye to the unethical things happening around them. It brings us to the very heart of the question that has been floating in the public consciousness for a long time. How much did Beyonce really know about what was happening behind closed doors during her rise to fame, especially as she and Jay-Z became closer? When we consider Beyonce's response to the legal controversies surrounding Jay-Z in the early 2000s, it's strange that she chose to support him so strongly, even to the point of overshadowing the allegations against him with her own media presence. If Jay-Z was truly involved in such troubling incidents, why would she stand by him so fiercely? Ooh, Lord, if y'all made it all the way to the end, thank y'all so much for tuning in with me. That's all I got for y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video.
So long, sleeping from sofa to sofa. Now I'ma step on these little bitty bitches in some brand new Gucci low, some Gucci walking. I got tired of eating Big Mama's chicken. Now it's business when I walk out.